Do you want to create your own .lk domain name website in Sri Lanka? Well, then this one is for you. In 2015, I created jump.lk without any technical knowledge or any coding skills, and I managed to create a sexy site. Now in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. I'm going to take you through all the steps by creating a real website with you, so that after watching this video you'll exactly know how to create your own website. Now if you are new to this channel, I'm Nishan De Silva, the founder of Jump.lk. If you want to start your own business, learn about personal finance and investing, and ultimately create a great life, consider subscribing to our channel. Now to the good stuff. So what is a website? Well, glad you asked. I like to consider a website as a home in the internet. It's your little space in the World Wide Web. Now, if you want to build your home, first you need an address, and also you need a space or a land to build your home. That's the same with your website. So when you are building your website, the first step is getting an address to your website, also known as the domain name. Imagine one of your friends want to find your home. How are they going to do it? Well, obviously they need to have your home address. It's the same with your website. If someone wants to find your website, they need to have your domain name or the web address. Now when it comes to my website, the domain name of my website is www.jump.lk. To build your own website, the first thing you need is you need to buy your domain name. In this video, what we are going to learn is creating a website using a .lk domain name. But if you want to buy a domain name such as a .com, a .net or a .rg, the process is still the same. Now, how are you going to buy a .lk domain name? Well, you need to go to the LK domain registry. Let's go. First, go to Google and type in nic.lk. Click on the first link, which is LK domain registry. That's where you're going to buy your first domain. Right, once you're on the website, just search for the domain name that you want to buy. In this case, I'm going to buy a domain called moksha.lk. Just type in and click search. Okay, it says the domain name is available for purchasing. Great. Now here there are a couple of other options available to buy, but you don't need any of that. What you need to do is select the option which is below the first option, that's called category 2 or cat 2. That's just 3,000 rupees. Not this, this. So once you are here, click add. Now you'll have to create an account at nic.lk. Since I already have an account, I'm just going to log in and head out to the page called My Domains. Once you're at My Domains, you'll see your domain name, and what you need to do is you need to press continue. Just click continue. Next, they are going to ask a reason for purchasing this domain. Make sure it's a valid reason. In this case, I'm going to mention as my reason as I'm going to start a business. Just type in your reason. Then click continue. Right, then you'll have to fill in some personal information. Since I already have an account, I don't have to do any of those. Just fill in the information that is required, and move from one tab to the other while providing the information that they require. Right, for billing you need to add a billing proof document. I'm going to upload an image of my NIC. You can do the same. And don't worry about this next part, just leave it blank. Click finish. Then you are going to get an email saying that they are processing your request. This happens soon after you finish your registration procedure on nic.lk. The next day you are going to get another email. This is going to be your payment email. Keep in mind that you need to make the payment within 3 days after receiving this email. Just go to nic.lk and log into your account. Then go to My Domains. Once you are there, you will see your domain name and you'll have to click this small icon here, which will take you to the payment page. Once you add the payment page, you'll have a couple of options. Make the payment, and once you make the payment, you are done. Right, the next step is buying hosting. Remember the analogy about your website being a home? Well, now your home has an address, which is your domain name, and what you need is a land or a space to build your home. That's called hosting. Think of hosting as something similar to your computer hard disk, but in this case, that space is in a server somewhere in the world. That's where all your website content such as text, images, videos, and everything will be hosted. When a user types in your web address, that's where they will be directed to your hosting account or your little space in the internet. Right, so how are you going to buy hosting? Well, there are so many hosting providers. There are local hosting providers and there are international hosting providers. Currently, I'm using a company called SiteGround.com. After trying with so many different hosting providers, I have realized that SiteGround.com is the best hosting provider that you can get for your money. So many web experts have recommended SiteGround.com, and in this tutorial, what we are going to do is we are going to purchase hosting from SiteGround.com. Now, if you follow the link in the description below, you are going to get a 60% off for your first hosting purchase. But if you don't want to go with SiteGround.com and if you want to go with someone else, that's also completely fine. The process is still the same. Now, let's go and buy hosting. Now, go to SiteGround.com. Click this link. Right, so you'll have 4 options. Just select the first option, which is web hosting. Right, once you are there are 3 options. You can either choose startup, grow big, or go geek. If you are going to start just one website, click on startup. You don't need the other options, but if you want to create more than one website, you can select the other options. In this case, I'm going to choose the first plan, which is called startup. Click on get plan. Now you have 2 options. If you are going to register a new domain, you can select the first option, but remember you can't get a .lk domain name from SiteGround.com. So since we already have a .lk domain name, I'm just going to enter it and click proceed. Right, now just fill in the information. It's a fairly simple registration procedure. Here you can select the number of months. I'm going to select 12 months as a start. You don't need this. Just stick in the first option. And click pay now. Great, now you have a hosting account. Now click on this button, proceed to customer area. This is the next page is where the initial setup page is. I'm just going to select I don't need help now. And click confirm. Done. Now you have a hosting account. This is your SiteGround account. Right, the next step is changing your name servers. Now you have a web address which is your domain name. You also have a space to build your website which is your hosting account, but there's one problem. These two are not linked. If someone types in your web address, they won't be directed to your hosting account because they are not linked. Why? Because you bought the domain name from LK Domain Registry and you bought hosting from siteground.com. Now if you bought the domain name and the hosting from the same provider, you don't have to do anything because they are from the same provider. But in this case, you need to direct your domain name to your hosting account. How are you going to do it? Well, you need to change your name servers. It's super simple. Let's get right to it. First, log into siteground.com and go to My Accounts. Then open nic.lk in another tab and log into your account. Once you are there, go to My Domains and find your domain. Then click on this little icon which says Edit Records. Then click here and select Name Server. Don't worry about any of these things, just click here and select Name Server. Now go to siteground.com and do you see these two lines? Copy the first line and then paste it here. Then go to your siteground.com account and copy the second line and paste it again here. Now click Save. Then you are done. Click Save. Now you have pointed your domain name to your hosting account. It takes about 24 hours for the name server change to happen. Once that happens, you will get an email notification saying that your name server records have been modified. Till then, you can patiently wait. Alright, now your domain name and your hosting account is linked. You have a web address and you have a space to build your website. Now it's time to building your website. When building a website, there are basically two parts. First, you can either code a website from the ground up, or else you can use a website builder, something like WordPress, Blogger, Squarespace, Wix. In this video, we are going to look at WordPress. Why WordPress? Because currently WordPress powers more than 33% of the internet, and it's also one of the most powerful website builders out there. For all my website, I've been using WordPress, and the best part is you don't need to know any coding skills or any technical skills to get a professional looking website with WordPress. So what is WordPress? Well, WordPress is an open source software. Think of it as a software that you are going to install in your computer. But in this case, what you are going to do is you are going to install WordPress in your hosting account. How are you going to do it? Well, with siteground.com, it's super easy. All you have to do is just press one button. Let's get right to it. Siteground.com and log in. Then click Go to cPanel. cPanel is where you manage your entire hosting account. Think of it as the backend of your hosting account. Now click Proceed. Once you add the cPanel, it's time to install WordPress in your hosting account. Right, this is your cPanel. All you have to do is click on this WordPress icon. Now scroll down and click Install Now. Click here. You can leave the first option as it is. Here you can select whether your site is going to be a HTTP or HTTPS. What you should ideally have is a HTTPS website. But in here you see that you are getting an error message. It says there's no SSL certificate available. So what's an SSL certificate? Well, have you seen that little green padlock next to web addresses or domain names? Well, that's called an SSL certificate. It's also known as HTTPS. Now, if you have HTTPS on your website, that is to indicate your users that whatever the information that they submit, either credit card details or personal information, will be safe on your website. Now, of course, you can have a website without HTTPS. You can have HTTP website, but Google and basically every other web browser prefers HTTPS over HTTP websites, and I also highly recommend that you get HTTPS for your website. How are you going to do it? Well, if it is with any other hosting provider, you have to get a SSL certificate separately, but when it comes to siteground.com, they're offering you a free SSL certificate. Right, let's install your SSL certificate. To install SSL certificate, you need to go back to your cPanel, then go to the security section. Click on Let's Encrypt. Once you are there, select your domain name and select Let's Encrypt SSL certificate and press install. Keep in mind that it's going to take a few hours to activate your SSL certificate. After a few hours, log into your SiteGround account and go to the cPanel. Once you are there, click on WordPress installer. Click Install Now like you did before. Here you can select HTTPS. Now you will not get that error message. Mention a name to your site. Don't worry, you can always change this. You can also add a site description. This also you can change once you are done. Then you need to add a username and a password. Keep in mind that you won't be able to change your username. So come up with something suitable. Then create a password. Leave everything else as it is. You can change the admin email or you can leave it as it is. In this case, I'm going to change it as hello@moksha.lk. Then click install. It will take some time for the installation. Right, now WordPress is installed. Congratulations, you have officially created your .lk domain website. To log into the backend of your website, you can click on this link. You can bookmark this link so that you won't forget it. It's the link that you need to log into your backend of your WordPress website. Now let's log in to the backend of your WordPress website. Once you're on this page, you can either follow the instructions or you can do it later. This is just a setup page that is provided by siteground.com. Here you get to see some themes that are available. These are all free themes. Like I told you, you can follow this setup procedure or you can do it later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select exit and I'm going to do this later. Don't worry about this. Right, so this is the backend of your website. This is the dashboard. Predominantly any WordPress website will look like this. On to your left, you get the different menus that are available. If you want to see how your website looks, go here and click Visit Site. Right, so currently this is how your WordPress website will look. There won't be any information in this page because you haven't done anything as of yet. Next, what you need to do is you need to install a theme to your website. How are you going to do that? Right, the next thing you need to do is you need to install a theme for your WordPress website. So there are millions of free themes as well as there are millions of paid themes. You can always start with a free theme, but I would always recommend you to go for a paid theme, because in a paid theme you can do, there's no limitation as to what you can do. Now this is jump.lk. This is the website that I created. Now if you take a look at my website, this is a theme that I have installed, and all I did was I edited the theme and I added images and I added content that I want to. You can also do the same. So if you so where can you go to buy a good paid theme? Well, there is a site called themeforus.net. This is the site where I buy all my WordPress themes. Usually a theme is about $59. So let me show you the theme that I have installed on my website at the moment. This is the theme that I have installed on my website. Right, once you are here on this website, there are millions of WordPress themes. What you can do is you can click on WordPress and you can click popular items. Okay, for an example, now this theme is just 39 US dollars. If we click, what you can do is you can buy a theme from here, then install the theme in the backend of your website. It's a super simple procedure, and once you do that, you can edit the content that are already there and add your images, add your text and add your products, and you will have a fantastic site like this. So once you have the theme installed, all you have to do is edit it according to your preference. It might look a bit confusing in the beginning, but trust me, it's not difficult. Watch a couple of YouTube videos. There are so many tutorials as to how you can edit your WordPress website. That's exactly how I created my website, jump.lk. Right, finally, building your website is going to take some time, and as the saying goes, the reward is in the journey. But trust me, once you finish building your website, you are going to feel great because you created something from nothing, and that's a wonderful feeling, and I hope you'll have that feeling as well. Everything that I discussed in this video are available on our website jump.lk, including images and steps. The post is linked in the description below, and also all the resources that you need to create your website, such as plugins, themes, and everything that I spoke about are also linked in the description below. Do you have any questions on how to build your website in Sri Lanka? Well, add a comment below and let me know. I'm happy to answer. So did you learn anything from this video? If you did, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because we are going to share tutorials just like this in the future. And if you want to learn more about building your website or starting your own business in Sri Lanka, go check out jump.lk, where we got so many guides and resources on starting your own business. And until our next video, keep crushing it.